It's a crazy dude. These churches? Whoa! What's up, dude? These churches are part of the MATRiX. Whoa! You're a big kitty. These churches are absolutely part of the MATRiX. And you're blessed if you know that already. Alright, dude. But Jesus is alive and dwelling in those that have been born again, that are seeking him daily. A lot of people want to be like Jesus, but they're not turning over no tables. Sadducees, Pharisees, bringing nothing but heresies. You're like a fig tree with no fruit and hollow leaves. Many are called, but few are chosen. My eyes are open, and I'm beholding these wolves in sheep's clothing. Alright. That was supposed to go a little smoother, but you get the point. We're here. We're bringing the heat. Dude, I've been shown time and time again. I've been given the benefit of the doubt over these churches. I'm like, alright, Lord, you've shown me a lot of nonsense, lies. You've brought me out of the MATRiX. I'm like, but I have to see for myself these churches. And time again, he's showing me how ridiculous these church buildings are, where the Spirit does not dwell in temples built with hands. We are the church, right? You go into these churches, they're like tithing. God said to give us money now, or else. And these organizations, these churches are ran by the square and compass pinheads, the fools that go to these lodges. Trying not to say the word, because I don't know if the YT flags. I mean, it flags a lot of things and, does what it does. But the same people that are climbing up this pyramid, that have their hand in every industry and been that way for centuries, are the same ones in power at these churches. And these churches are ran and filtered, and the gov has its hand over these buildings, controlling what can and cannot be said. And that is why we are where we are. And that is why so many potentially chosen children of God are being turned off by the churches, because they intuitively know that it's all nonsense. But sadly, it's turning them away from Jesus. And glory to God for us being on the narrow path, seeing through all this nonsense. You're gonna come to our church? It's like, absolutely not. I'd rather set a $20 bill on fire. Like you can't unlearn what God has shown you. And it's those that, honestly, my heart literally yearns for those that are still ignorantly defending these churches, these cliques, the pastors. I think it's only a matter of time before God reveals that truth to them. But, it's like, will they ever come to the truth? Because they hear that, oh, Jesus is alive and dwelling and available to us, but they just hear it and they don't get it. They have their faith in these church gangs that they go to, once or twice a week, and bless them, because they Satan has them and their mind and their faith limited. They've been put in a box with the majority of people. Okay, yeah, and think about all these different denominations. We're Baptists. We're different. We're Trinitarian, vegetarian, pre-Pentecostal, Hail Mary, pastor praising. It's like, you guys are nuts. That's what you are, and you need Jesus. And we want others to find the truth and to come into the truth. It's almost like, it seems like these churches are like one of the last deceptions to stepping into the truth. Like, you'll almost never step into your purpose. Your purpose is not to go to church. Like, it doesn't end there. Like, people, most of these people aren't out there doing anything to lead people to Jesus, because they are religious. They are part of churchianity, and they're deceived. And it's these evil Masonic pastors, these wolves in sheep's clothing, who are feeding them nonsense and lies, right? We are the church, the born again followers of Christ. And these pastors, they use well-crafted verses to keep you from leaving. And the believers are regurgitating what they hear, and it's just this vicious. It's everyone. That's part of. There's so many different aspects to this. Like, church is becoming trendy. Have you recognized that? Like, all these people and all these young people are finding it trendy to be involved in the church building stuff. Everyone's regurgitating what the pastor says, who's strategically forced to pick and choose verses and to take them out of context to keep people coming back and paying tithes. And, it's like, okay, well, why even start a church building if you have to keep telling everyone, oh, we can't afford, it's up to you guys, you got to keep the lights on here, and, God will bless you 100-fold, I promise. Every time it'll happen. It's like, why even start a pagan temple, which is what it is, if set yourself at a higher vantage point and look at everything. Ask Jesus for help. If this is already bothering you, the Lord will show you. It's only a matter of time. If you're truly loving and walking with Him, He will not have you going and attending these lukewarm churches for too much longer if you are seeking Him, like, with all your heart. Get in the Word, study yourself, and seek Jesus for yourself. Like, a lot of these pastors, they want to use these scriptures. Oh, you got a fellowship. Oh, like, it's been this way for a long time. They know what to say and how to say it to where everyone feels like they can't leave, and like, they would get ostracized if they left, which is what happens. It has happened to me. Yeah, it's all controlled by the gov through the 501c ploy. The 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 lodge people, the alphabet people, the people in darkness of high power. Just because you found a church that you like doesn't mean that Satan isn't deceiving you. All right. Yeah, I'm glancing over at this board, this whiteboard of mine, and I got a notebook here. All right. Back when I first knew of these things, like I said, I was like, well, I gotta give. I'm like, Lord, just, you've shown me a lot, but maybe I'm gonna give these people the benefit of the doubt. And dude, it was crazy what the Lord took me through in that season. This religious guy set me up with a one-on-one tour of this church. And right away, dude, this guy was, I could tell he was like a wizard. He was like a psychological acrobat, trying to be 10 steps ahead of everything that I was. And I was truly like newly reborn. Not much Bible knowledge, and I still don't have like too much Bible knowledge. Still learning. But this guy like wanted to reel me into his, like, I right away was like aware of what God was trying to show me. And this guy, this pastor, was like so demonic in several ways. He had this like, I swear he's got to be a pervert, because the way he was talking after our little tour to these like young girls and boys with this like soft feminine voice, like touching them on the shoulder and crap. I'm like, dude, this guy's a creep. And wow, this guy was taunting me. I attended a class at this church, a college class, which again is, these are all, the gov has its hand in how all of these classes are structured. And a lot of these pastors are like in darkness, given a place of power and authority, and they've like sold their soul. And they play both sides. This guy was taunting me because I was the only one like awake. And he like knew it. But at the same time, he had to play it off and be this good character. So he was literally like casting magic. I don't know what to call it exactly, but he was having two conversations at one time. Like, we were in class, he was talking to me, divide and conquer, letting out frustration in this like story, while it was able to teach the class, but he was like glaring at me sitting in the back, trying to send me signs like, you better get the heck out of here, because I was about to like wake people up and have everyone like, let's get the flip out of here. This place is wicked. Anyways, there's so much to that story, but I don't want to spend too much time on it. So I've had multiple experiences like this too. I went into this church before then, with a little less of this knowledge from the Lord, with some of my coworkers, because I was like finding the Lord. I was reborn, and they looked up to me and they were like, oh yeah, if Dev's gonna change and be this person, like, we want you know, they tried to do it to impress me, like, getting me to act like they were all interested in crap too. We go to this church. This guy and his wife like spotted me out of the whole crowd. And they like sneakily came up to me afterwards and were like acting all a certain way, trying to get me to just speak, to talk about what I know. And they were giving me these looks like the demons inside of these people can't hide their evil intent. This guy and his wife were like fighting facial micro expressions in talking to me, and I was, because they saw, like, when you're born again and you're authentic and you really have the spirit and you're not this like brain dead zombie just going to church because you think you're supposed to, you don't even have to be exposing them. The spirit within them will know that you're a real one, and they'll feel threatened, which is what happened. So when it was so weird. I was just thinking, like, get the frick away from me. Like, you got these spiritual warriors of Satan's army coming at me, making me claustrophobic, trying to act all... You can see through everything, dude. Like, on the surface, it looks like they're just being kind and loving and trying to get to know you and crap. No, man. No. I was raised in a household where I've always been an observer, because it's like my parents are the same way. Their words and their actions are completely different. They contradict each other. And so, yeah. Upon leaving that church that day, I was like, this place is insane. I was actually taking notes during the service about like how everything was messed up, and they probably were watching me during the service. Dude, they're like hawks. They have hawk eyes. Whoever comes in that's new, they're like making sure that you will be susceptible to being trained up in the way that they desire. They really don't want you to have that self relationship with Jesus. They want to have the power over you and to tell you, they want to be the ones that provide and have their hand in your learning and your walk with God. It's just insane. And then, okay, later on, somewhat recently, after God had showed me these things, again, I was like, well, Lord, I'm like, I don't know, maybe... I'm like, I don't know, is this Satan trying to deceive me the whole time? Am I supposed to be in these churches? Am I overthinking this? Like, you've shown me for years now all of this crap and all of these connections. And I'm like, all right, Lord, what the heck? I'm going to go to the closest church to me. I'm like, forgive me if I'm wrong. I just don't know what's going on. My parents are killing me slowly. Like, I don't know. I want to be around other believers. Hopefully, there's something, they probably believe. Really getting in my head there, and I'm like, all right, I'm going to go check out this church. It's like less than a mile away. And right away, I was in tears of joy, in confirmation from the Lord. Because of how dude, it was confirmed, everything that he had shown me. And I'm like in tears of joy, and I'm thinking like, well, crap, I gotta get out of here. I'm like, I guess I'll sit through the service. And then this guy comes up with this tithing bowl, and I just look at him like, and then he realized he had to have, I don't know, but he was like, oh, I didn't feel guilty for not reaching in my pocket and being like, oh. I just sat there and looked at him like, can I help you? What do you want? You want some money? Do you want some money, sir? Yeah, so he like, he skedaddled out of my presence quickly. And I just thought it was funny. I'm like, Lord, well, this is a fun experience. I'm like, the music's pretty catchy. But yeah, I won't be coming back here. And I had to like fight to get out of that place. People were like, hey, what's your name? And I was like, dude, I was like breaking a sweat. I was getting all like scared and nervous. I'm like, you guys just leave me alone. Yeah, it's like, dude, the tithing part of that was funny. It's like, dude, put an apple in the tithing bowl and watch how mad these people get. Seriously. Alright, what do we have here? Yeah, seems like church is one of the last deceptions to wake up to upon walking with Jesus. And he will show you this truth, if he hasn't already. If I do ever go to a church again, it's probably going to be to grab a free cup of complimentary coffee, just to turn around and walk out, thanking the Lord. I'm a big coffee guy. Seek God for yourself. Fellowship comes from people God sends when you step into your purpose in serving him. I feel that way about this channel. And I have yet to like find someone out in the world that loves God the way that I do. But I'm not going to give up on that. Anyways, I hope you enjoyed this talk. I'm sure it ruffled some feathers. Some of my recent videos have been getting a lot of traction, so I'm sure that there's going to be a handful of people that come here that are idolizing the church buildings, and I want to just tell you that I still love you, and I want what's best for you, and I want what's best for God's people. So don't even just take my word for it. I hope this is just a seed planted, and I would desire for God to show those that are like ignorantly glorifying the church buildings the deeper truths. So that'll be it for now. Stay tuned, and God bless.